Okay, so you have a camera full of images or digital assets, including video perhaps, that you want to import onto your computer. What's the best way to do that? Well, we're already using Bridge to manage our digital assets and our folders, our images, or video. So why don't we use Bridge to import the assets from our camera as well, so we can manage those within Bridge and eventually bring them into Photoshop and use those or any other design software found here in the suite. Thankfully, Adobe Bridge makes this process very easy. So the first thing that you want to do is hook your camera up to your computer. I don't have one that I'm hooking up into my computer today where I'm at, so I'm just going to run you through the process. I'm within Bridge, and I'm going to click on the File menu, and I'm going to select Get Photos from Camera. That's going to bring up the Adobe Bridge Photo Downloader dialog box. And the first thing that it's going to do, 99% of the time, recognize the device or the camera that you plugged into your computer, and it will name that device right here in this window. If it doesn't name it by default, you can select the drop-down menu and refresh the list or select it from the names on the list. The next options that we have are our import settings. Here we can specify a location, and by default it's going to default to your Pictures folder, your default Pictures folder within Windows. And we can specify a short date name for that folder. What that means is typically when you import images from your camera, it creates a folder, and it's going to create it by the date that the images were taken. And it can specify multiple folders or any, or you can specify a custom name for your folder. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a date. You can name it the property name or asset name that you took. And when you select custom name, it's going to allow you to enter that custom name in the box down below. Now that's only going to name the subfolder and where you are importing those files. Our next dialog box will allow us to rename the individual files. Now in most cases it's going to do this by default, and usually by date or by photo number, depending on the type of camera that you have. But here you can specify a unique name, so you might put the property name or assets name, and another thing that we can do is synchronize that name. So let's say we're doing 1122 Parkway. Well, if I come and put 112 Parkway here, all one word, and put a 1 after it, every file that comes off that camera succeeding that file is going to get a number assigned to it as well. So you might have 1122 Parkway 1 and then 1122 Parkway 2 and so forth. In addition to naming the folder and the files, we can also choose to open it in Bridge as soon as it's exported. So we go right to our photos here in Bridge and we can see them just as we can see the photos here in the background. We can convert the files to DNG format. We can delete the original files off of the camera. And if we really wanted to, we could create a backup folder for those files as well, just in case, because you never know. So once I have that information filled out, I just click Get Photos, and Bridge will handle getting all those photos off of your camera, bringing them onto your hard disk, and once they're on your hard disk, you can sit here and navigate through them and view the metadata information and work as usual.